I'm making this video. This is Ms. Hine with Ray Allen Elementary, and I'm making this video to help parents with logging into Google and online and just accessing all of our technology-based assignments. So I've had a lot of parents say, hey, it's just too much, I'm overwhelmed, my student doesn't know what to do. So I'm hoping that playing this video for you or your children will help walk you through this process and make it easier. Thank you for all of your patience and all of your communication. I know this is not ideal, but you are being amazing, which is making this a successful process, okay? So I'm recording my screen and you're hearing my voice. This way I can show you how to get on to all the different programs. So I am on a Temple ISD device, which automatically logs me into Google. Most elementary students do not have access to one of these. And so you are using a tablet or you are using a home computer. So the first thing you're going to do is go to google.com. When you're at google.com, you're going to come over here. You can see the picture of me here, but on your device, either you'll be logged into your parents' or your personal Gmail account. If you would click on that, if you have a personal account going, please add another account. So like I would go to manage accounts on this device. And I would add account. Now you probably wouldn't have to go here. It would just be an add button and you could put in a different email address and password and it would log you into two different accounts. But you can see the icons for the two different accounts. Okay. So once you log in, you will see your student's icon. In order for you to log in, this is the part that we really struggle with as students and parents. I think getting you in here is when you log into Google, you have to use your Temple ISD information. And so your information, I'm just going to write in the Google search here just so you understand what I'm saying, or if a student's watching this, they can see and copy it on paper. Do not mind any of the things it's saying to do. So it would be your student's ID number, which is the first number they put in their Chromebooks. They should know that. If they don't know it, you can contact your teacher and they will give you that number. And then they will put the @ RTISD devices automatically have this. So they just have to put in that number, press enter, and then it will ask for their password. And that's how they log in, and it makes the device of Temple ISD accessing their personal identification for online. And this allows us to secure them and make sure that their information is safe. And so it's going to be student ID @, and this is the part, if you don't use this every day, you don't remember, gcloud. So gcloud.tisd.org. So that is your username when you're signing in up here. So it's going to be your student ID or first number you put in the computer at gcloud.tisd.org. If your student doesn't remember or needs help with that ID number, please reach out to your teacher. And then your password is that second number you put into the computer. And so the students should also know that. Again, if they don't, reach out to your teacher and they'll give you those numbers. And so your password is just a bunch of numbers, okay? You'll click enter and then you will automatically be online. If you are going to Google Classroom, you will just click this square here and you will pick Classroom. And then you would pick your classroom that you're using. In the younger grade levels, you really only have one to look at. In the older grade levels, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, in the older grade levels, they might have to go by subject. I think 4th grade combined all of theirs for this process. Fifth grade, we had our own personal per subject going. And so we just kept that classroom going because our students were used to it. Instead of adding them to another one, we just left it going. So make sure if you're in fifth grade, you're going into the reading with Miss Lawton, the science with Miss Hine, and the math with Miss Patterson. All your electives assignments will be under science, and you'll see that come out as an assignment, okay? So all of those are on science. And your elective teachers are also on there, so we can comment and communicate with you with any issues that you're having and get you the best answer as quick as possible. So once you log into your classroom, you're going to see the feed. This is your stream. And so it's just all the communication from me and the other teachers. I do give access to all 3 teachers to my Google Classroom. I also give access to the elective teachers so that we can communicate. And these comments that you're seeing on here, this is a really easy way for you to get a hold of the teachers as students. When you make a comment, we get an email that says, student A commented on Google Classroom. We click that link, it shows us your comment, and then we can reply. And so that's the quickest way to get a response from us. But again, you can always give us a call at the school or you can email us. Okay? And so this is where you'll get all your videos and things like that. And so when I'm looking through here, I could pick this video and it will play automatically. And this works on a phone, a tablet, or a laptop or desktop computer. Okay. All of your assignments I am putting under classwork. I'm putting under classwork. You can see some that right here. Those are scheduled for later on in the week. And so you don't even have to go to that when you're in your stream and an assignment is posted. It will show up on your stream that morning. And so I always have mine go for 7 a.m. And I'm going to go back to Monday's assignment just because it was easier to talk about the science. So Monday's assignment, it says Ashley Hine posted a new assignment Monday, March 30th, remote learning science. So I would click here. When I saw that on my stream, you're going to go to instruction. You won't be able to see student work. Only I get to see that part. So when you click on the assignment, the assignment will pop up. And it will give you a detail about what the assignment is. So the assignment for Monday says, students will review the TEAC 3.10b. I can investigate and compare how animal and plants undergo a series of orderly changes in their diverse life cycle, such as a tomato plant, frog, or lady beetle. And so when it says 3 on our TEAC, our students do know this, but parents, please let me explain it to you. 3 means 3rd grade. So if it was 5.10b, it would mean 5th grade, and 10 is just the number of TEAC, okay? B means a subcategory of it. And that's how you're reading your TEACs. And your students, we've tracked this throughout the year so we know what to focus on or what we need extra help on. So 3.10b is a 3rd grade TEAC they were taught, but I always like to reteach in 5th grade to make sure that the students remember and understand. It was hit a little bit in 4th grade, and then in 5th grade, we get to build onto it. So this is just me telling you what we're learning this week. And then it says the assignment is Think It Up, page 215. And that's going to be the same for paper or online. So if you are doing the paper packet, you are getting a copy of Think It Up, page 215. I'm going to share this video through email, Class Dojo message, and on here. This way I can hit as many parents as possible. And even if you are not doing the online version, you have access to walk you through it. I also will post the links to any video of instruction on all three of those things so that you can have access to them no matter what you're working on. And I know there are some issues with internet and things like that, but do not forget Spectrum is giving, during this time, free internet to any student who needs it. So reach out for that code. You can call the district, you can call Spectrum, and they will help set you up as soon as possible. So parents, please make sure you reach out for that. So I love to include these videos. Parents, my goal with the videos is to help you help your student. So if I am doing the teaching and the instruction, most of our students in 5th grade can do this by themselves and they don't need any of your help. And I know you have lots of things going on. They might show you something or want to share with you, but most of them can help by themselves. And again, if they need any help, reach out to us. We have office hours 8:30 to 12. But normally if you make a comment or send an email, as soon as we see it, we will reach back out to you. And our policy is 24 hours right now. We want to make sure that we are staying connected with you and we are working to respond to any questions or comments. So students will review the standard by answering the questions and showing their strategies. I know that when you're online, it's very hard to show your strategies because we don't have the access to do that. But our students are very good at using a piece of paper and walking through it. And by the answer they pick, I can usually tell whether they use it strategies or not. And every student is different. Some are very, very strategy oriented and some think that they don't need them. And then when they go back and realize they got the easiest question wrong and it's because they missed a word with no strategies. So students will review the standard by answering the questions and showing the strategies Ms. Hine has worked with them on all year. I have a slideshow to help walk you through the refresher of 3.10b in 3rd grade. There are some videos in the slideshow to help the student remember. So I always like to make sure there's a lesson to go with an assignment. And unfortunately, we're not given that opportunity because we are not in a whole group classroom. But I can always do it through video, which is part of our blended learning and what 5th graders have worked on all year. I always like to do at least one day whole teach, and then off their assignments, I can usually break up into small groups. Hey, I need to pull back this group because they're still struggling with it. Maybe I can reteach it. My video lessons are usually lessons that are TEKS that were low. I want to hit students in other ways. They didn't understand the whole group one, or maybe they were absent. So the video lesson is something very familiar to our students. Paper and computer is the same. Only difference is if you are on the computer, the students are asked to hit the link below and sign in. If they are signed in with their Google account, it will automatically take them to the Google form as them. And so they would click this video link, and this video link just makes that worksheet into an online availability. And so it's telling them that their email is there and it'll be recorded when they submit it. And so you must submit it in order for me to see it. If you don't submit it, I don't think that you've completed it. And so here's your questions. And this would be A, B, C, D. Our questions are usually alternate, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J. So if you were watching the video of me reading the questions and writing them on paper, just remember A, B, C, D, F, G, H, J. And so you would click all the answers for each question, and then you would submit it to me. All these questions were worth 20 points, so kind of grades it for you. We'll discuss that. I want to see the effort. If you are missing a lot, and let's say you only got 1 out of the 5, then I will reach out to you in feedback and reteach you that way right now. So I'm going to go back to the assignment and just walk you through what the videos are that I included to help make this process easier. So 3.10b life cycle, when you're seeing that slide show, what you're seeing is a way for me to teach it without having a classroom with your students at that time. And so I started with just some simple vocabulary that we would have gave in 3rd grade for this TEK. And so it has the word and definition or ways to remember. And then if you come down to slide number 5, you'll see some links. These are some links of the videos to help you remember what those life cycles were and walk you through them. So it is me recording the screen just like I am now and discussing through the videos what is expected for this understanding. And then this is kind of like a graphic organizer or a breakdown to help the students realize the comparison of the different types of life cycle. So we talked about organisms right before we left in ecosystems. And so we're labeling our organism first, and then we're giving the stages of their life cycle. And so we compared human, frog, and plant. So we have a human, an animal, and a plant. In 5th grade, we expand on this TEK. And so I do have some more information. If any of your students finish early or need some extra work, please reach out to me by email or Class Dojo or comment. And I will also share that slideshow so you can see the extension of what I would have taught this week. This video link is going to take you to Think It Up, but it's a video of me reading. And so I am reading the questions and walking the students through number 1. If we were doing this in class, I probably would walk you through number 1 and number 2, and then I would let you work in a small group or with a partner on 3, 4, and 5, because it is the concept practice. Now, Wednesday's assignment is going to be actually testing you to see if you can remember what we talked about on Monday, and checking in to see who I need to contact and reteach or help out. And so Wednesday, I also do give you the first answer. We walk through it together, and then I read aloud. And so your student is going to watch this video, answer number 1 with me during the video. And we've done this throughout the whole year, especially with assignments in class, or if this was a test and we were going over it, your student would log into a correction video and they would fast forward to the ones they got right or to the ones they got wrong, and they would watch the questions. So on this video, you are watching number 1, and if you do not have the accommodation to have this read to you, you can log off and finish your Google form. If you have the accommodation to have this read to you, parents, I'm trying to save you that extra step, and your students can put on some headphones or sit at the computer and they can listen to me read the rest of the questions. And so once number 1 is answered, it is just me reading the question and answer choices for any student who has that accommodation. And they all know who they are at this point in 5th grade. So once you are all done, you'll submit your assignment, and then when I go here, it will show me that your student work is done. And that is all that is expected for science. When you're done that, you can also always log out of Google Classroom or science. Let's say we finished our science for the day, but we forgot to do reading. You would click these 3 lines right here, and it will show you all of your classrooms. So let's say I hop into reading next. And so reading is going to show you the post from Miss Lawton. And so it will tell you any assignments or anything you need to do there. And a lot of our students are commenting, and this is not very common for in class. We turn the comments off usually. But during this remote time, we thought the comments would be a great way for us to help students and communicate with them and allow them to communicate anything they're feeling. And so our students are pretty good at staying appropriate. They know what is not and what is available. The reason we turn it off in class is because we want to make sure the students are doing their work and they're not having little chats with each other. And that's really it for knowing your way through our site here on Google Classroom and getting logged in. Miss Lawton has this lovely post. Parents, if you have a chance, please have your student log in, read this, and then have them share with you what that means for their experience. So let's say that your assignment for math is to go to Educational Galaxy. Parents, if you're logging in at home and you've done your Google Classroom and you're seeing that it says, and I believe that was Miss Lawton's assignment for today, Tuesday, and it says, when you see Google Meets and the link, you'll click this link and it will log you into the Google Meet, which is like a FaceTime, where you can ask our 5th grade teachers or other students any questions or concerns that you have. Today we allowed we shared this with our activity teachers, and it was so nice for the kids to not just see us and check in, but they got to check in with Miss Fry Brown and Mr. Thompson and with Miss Lingo. And so you could see them excited and sharing. And so your student, if they are on Google Classroom, they would just hit this at the appropriate time, join, and there are options whether you want to show your face or not. You don't have to show your face. If you are busy and just want the sound, you would just put a picture or an icon up, okay? And you please make sure that you mute your mic when you're on there until it's your turn to talk, okay? So Miss Lawton on Tuesday puts, "Happy Tuesday morning. Remember, I will be checking to see if you have done the assignments. Even if you have already completed the TEK, do it again and shoot for 100. So we do a lot of practice with Education Galaxy and Study Island during the school year. And that was one of our plans to work out with the kids and give them 2 hours a week of study time with school and the programs, knowing that not every child can get online or has access to get this. And so we scratched out 2 hours of our time and target it to this extra practice. So when you're seeing shoot for 100, that means your student has already tried it, but we want to make sure they are mastering that and taking that to the next level. And in order for them to get there, parents, what you would do on a computer, or students, if you're not on a TISD computer, you are going to go into your search web address and just put TISD.org, or you would go to Google and put that in your search. So TISD.org, and then you'll go to students. As long as you are logged into your Google account in that little corner, this will automatically log you in. You would press Clever. And so it didn't even ask me how I went to log in, because it knows that I've already been logged in a few times, and I think I'm logged in right here. Had I not been on a TISD website, or had I not been logged into Google, it would give me 2 options: log in with G-Cloud or scan your QR. You would press login with G-Cloud, and then again, it would be your student ID at gcloud.tisd.org, and then their password number. And again, if you need help with that, reach out to reach out to teachers, and we'll get that information for you. When you come here, you're going to see all of the applications that we have available for the students. And students, yours might look a little different right now than what it normally looks like in school. But for this process right now, we are using mainly the same ones over and over. Parents, for science, one of our major applications and best resources that our school has bought for us for science to back up teachers and to help our students is STEMscopes. And so your student would log into that, and it would say assignments, and you would see all these assignments. Don't panic when you see a whole bunch that are not completed. I leave those up, and I have playlists that have choice on them. And so sometimes the student either were absent and I gave them something else, or asked for a paper, or it was a way for them to expand their knowledge, or a way of choice in our blended learning process. And so please focus only on the TEKs that are on the assignments for that day. Now kids will automatically know what to do with that one. The other app we're going to use a lot is called Educational Galaxy. The great thing about this is it is a lot of questions like STAR and a lot of practice. I believe we opened up Renaissance to AR test, which means the kids would read a book and they would go in and take a little quiz on AR on that book. But I believe that can only happen between 7:30 and 3:05 daily, Monday through Friday. Study Island is another one that we use a lot of. Study Island is like Educational Galaxy, but it is TEAC based and aligned a lot with STAR. Sometimes we argue which questions are better between these two applications. So having both applications helps us move your student to the next level. The other thing with this Study Island is when your student picks a TEAC, there is a lesson in there that they can go through before answering the question. So if they're struggling with an assignment, you might want to log into Study Island with your student and have them go to the lesson, not the practice, because the lesson is going to give them the information. And so our kids are really good at going right to the practice, and our teachers are really good at noticing who does that and who doesn't. And if you have ever seen your students' yellow folder, they are getting grades for this and signatures, and that's that study time we allow at school for them to practice. And so your teachers are signing off and telling them, shoot, great job at first try, but let's shoot for an 80. And this way we're always spiraling or bringing back the TEACs that we've learned in the beginning of the year. Because, if you don't continue to talk about it, sometimes you forget it. And then Mentoring Minds, you're not going to really use this one at all. I believe we are going to get another version of this that will be student friendly, but right now this is how I am pulling up the worksheets for Think It Up. So I can show the online students what the worksheet looks like, or I can actually have the picture of the worksheet up for the students who are at home, and I'm discussing that with them. So those are the major 5th grade ones that we're really going to use during this time. For math, our students use Reflex. Reflex is a fact practice application, which is allowing the students to practice those math applications that will become automatic. And most of them have that down in 5th grade. When you go over here, you're going to see vocabulary. We're not going to use that much during this process, but it is used a lot in our classroom. Brain Pop and Brain Pop Junior. Again, it provides a little lesson and then some activities. You have your Google Classroom here. So if you didn't want to log into Google and you logged right into Clever, which some of our parents are doing, you would find your Google Classroom right here. Epic Books is a reading. The kids really love it. Miss Lawton gives a code and the kids have access. And I believe Epic Books is open free while the remote learning is going on and the COVID-19 pandemic. Flipgrid is one of my favorites, and it just allows our kids to get a quick response in a video. We probably will not be using this a lot because, again, not everyone has access to it. Khan Academy, this is really good at showing students videos to help explain a topic. I know that when my children are struggling who are older and it's something I don't remember, like algebra or geometry, I mean, I can do the basics, but as we're going into deeper levels, I mean, I haven't used it in my career in a long time. So I will go on to there and I will watch the video and then we'll attempt a couple problems together walking through that video or rewatching it to reteach us. IXL is used for math. A lot of times math will use IXL. I know Miss Patterson is using it, and there's other programs. I'm digging into this one. Hopefully I can use that next year. And then your Pearson Easy Bridge is your Envisions book. So when you see an assignment for math that says Envisions, that is where you will find your Envisions. So most of the students will have either the hard copy or just be answering a Google form. But if at any time you need to find that Envisions page 215 or lesson 14.2, you would log in with Pearson and Miss Patterson would have assigned it to you. Also, we're sending home some Wonder Books, which is our new reading program, and you will find any of those workbook pages on McGraw-Hill here. But again, the teacher would probably have a form that they made. If you are an online student, if you were at home, you're going to have the paper copy with the plan. And so parents, I'm hoping this will help describe to you what we do and how we use our applications, how we get into them, and how we use Google Classroom. If you need any help throughout this process, please reach out to your teachers. Miss Patterson, Miss Lawton, and myself are available at any time. I know this was a really long video, but I'm hoping this clears up a lot of the confusion with the online. Or if you are paper and you want to switch to online, I'm hoping it clears up that. Again, thank you for your communication and your time and your patience. Stay safe. We miss your kids. Please remind them how much we miss them. And we'll do a Google Meet tomorrow to discuss any issues they have or problems with assignments to help them out that way, or just anything in general, any concerns, comments. And parents, remember, we're here for you also and open to listen, discuss, and explain any questions or concerns that you have. Thank you for your time. And again, stay in your house, stay safe, and remember to remind your children that we miss them.